Yeah, baby. Yeah, just taking a look at current Archon. This is going to be pre-nerf. I did see a patch coming. I think it's only out for Xbox. If you're on PS5, you can still do this. I don't know when the patch is going to go live. Probably either at some point over the weekend or maybe Monday. But yeah, Archon right now scaling off of mod and skill cast speed. If you look, the way you want to do this is have your casting speed as close as you can get it to 100%, but under 100% so that it doesn't bug out. But yeah, it's scaling damage a lot. If we look at the tooltip after Jester's Bell, it went from 23,000 to 26,650. And then as you're, doing what you need to do, Stone of Continuance is giving you a little bit longer duration to hit a kind of shaky boss. Just gives you a little bit more time on your spray. We're going Burden of the Gambler just for juicy crits to happen. We love yellow numbers. Burden of the Destroyer because we're mostly relying on mod damage outside of our Havoc form to nuke a boss. Then obviously Probability Chord to super juice our crits. Jester's Bell is just huge for cast speed, and it gives damage. It's nuts. We're running primary Archon for the mod power generation. And then Engineer is just kind of here for Metalworker perk with the skill damage. Gonna absolutely buff up our Havoc form, and then give us a bit more crit chance. So pretty huge there. And then yeah, when you're mapping, you're just gonna swap out Stone of Continuance with Stone of Malevolence because the regeneration on these is massive. You can just watch. When you're using, I like to spec into full AOE, and Stone of Malevolence just keeps that elemental damage feeding and just going nuts. Everything is super cooled down every time you reach back for your weapon, and we just have constant wave damage going out, just staggering, doing huge AoE rips. You take this build into something like Chimney when you're with a buddy or something, helping them level up and get caught up with their archetype, and you'll just absolutely have control of the whole map. This is without even using the turret. If I add the turret in, it's absolutely gonna just add a complete another thump of damage going out that's gonna stagger as well, and it's just gonna be constant. We'll have you covered, and yeah, it's just crazy how much you can cover. And you gotta remember your Archon can hit multiple targets at the same time, so you can still burn down elites if you'd like to. It won't be as much ST. I mean, you can even run it without swapping into a boss and you'll still do pretty good. You'll just have to rely on your mods to keep everything, keep the damage going out. Get a little bit of the corrosion on them and their armor will be shredded, they'll take that much more damage, and you'll just be, controlling an entire arena. The beauty of it is just so good clear, and I like it better, such good clear, but I like it better than the Fire Tornado, despite the CC, the Fire Tornado, just because you don't have to worry about hurting your buddies with it, and the AoE of it is just massive. And it's stuns as well, so it's huge. What's up, Hank? What's up, Hank? Come here. But yeah, it's massive. We can go back over the build here. So in our relic heart, we're just using the ruined heart to get our mods back up if we're ever out of sync and we don't have our mods going. We can just use a quick one, and it'll give you a little bit of heal. Heal is not really what we want out of it though, because our whole heal is going to be Siphoner, lifesteal. So yeah, hitting everything in the area and doing constant damage to everything is really nice. We have Vigor here, which I think is an absolute must-take unless you're doing no-hit runs and memorizing everything. A little bit of stamina for when you have to roll. DR for the same reason. I don't have everything memorized, and I will take a hit, so I need as much damage reduction and health as I can get. Obviously, we went over AOE size with amplitude, expertise, because we want to max that out to have Havoc on as low a cooldown as possible, because I think standard it is 120 second cooldown, and that's going to get changed to 90 seconds, but that's because they're breaking the casting speed issue with it right now that's making it do so much damage. Spirit, obviously a huge thing in this build. We're not really using our guns. Summon health is not big here because our summons are just the bugs and they don't really get hit. They just do damage for you, which is really nice. But yeah, this is pretty much the setup I'm running right now in my Apocalypse runs. I've downed 3 Apocalypse bosses and it hasn't been too bad. I have had to switch off of this because some of the bosses are just outside of range for Archon, or you can only use Archon to a certain degree before they resist damage. They're kind of health walled. Like, you can only phase them, and then you have to, you know, there's other stuff during the fight. But Typewriter here, I like using Momentum just to get some crits, because the Typewriter damage, since we're not ranged focused, it'll be nice to have crits to make it feel better with Momentum. And then adding stacks of crit chance just feels good. Obviously, Nebula helps with that. With the corrosive effect, which is huge. Corrosive is a dot, and corrosive shreds armor, so it's just awesome. It makes your nano swarm in between everything on top of Chicago Typewriter, pinging it with crits. Everything feels like you can still keep up while you're waiting on Havoc form to come back. I have tested a few different setups where I was cooling down Havoc form, but it just didn't. It wasn't as meaningful as much damage as it's doing right now. So yeah, right now I don't care that I fat roll, so we just go max armor for max damage reduction, and yeah, that's the setup. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That covers just about everything, and yeah, you know, that's probably what I'll be playing until this gets uber nerfed down. They break the cast speed correlation, and yeah, so that's it. These are the overarching stats that I use, and we should be off cooldown. I'll give you one more showcase of single target. It looks like we peaked at about 20k DPS there for a second, and then yeah, we're sitting at 48,000 total. So yeah, it absolutely melts on everything up to Apocalypse, so have fun with it while you can before the nerfs get here, and then yeah, hope everybody has a good one.